Hi everybody! As you have probably guessed, this video does have something to do with the Loredive series, and it looks like past the next group of survivors and killers, I'm not going to be able to continue the series the way that it's been going. I know it's disappointing, but in life, things do have to change sometimes. I've appreciated all the support that I've been given so far, as I really do enjoy doing this series, but I do see the need to change things going forward. I think it'll be alright in the end. After all, stranger things have happened, right? Hi, and welcome to Loredive, where we look into the lore of all of our favorite games, and surprise! Today we are going right back into Dead by Daylight. But this will be unlike any of the previous episodes so far, as this episode isn't going to be about specific sets of survivors or killers, and instead it's going to be entirely about the latest chapter, Stranger Things. This will include everything that has been released in this new package, including the new realm, the Hawkins National Laboratory, both new survivors, Nancy Wheeler and Steve Harrington, as well as the new killer, the Demogorgon. The Hawkins National Laboratory. Officially, the Hawkins National Laboratory was one of many federal compounds connected to the U.S. Department of Energy, though in actuality, this lab located in Hawkins, Indiana, was host to the MK Ultra experiments under the administration of Dr. Martin Brenner. One of the participants in this program was Terry Ives, a young girl in college who was pregnant at the time. The projects and experiments led to Terry's daughter, Jane, being born with special mental abilities. Jane was taken from her mother, renamed 11, and was used as a test subject by Dr. Brenner. One day, they placed 11 into a sensory deprivation tank, with the intention of having her spy on a known communist agent. Instead, she mentally connected to something terrifying, a creature that didn't belong in their world. The stress from this event tore open a gate into a dimension known as the Upside Down, allowing monsters to enter into the world. Through the help of 11, her friends managed to dodge wave after wave of dangers, and the authorities sealed off the facility, but not before the Chicago Sun-Times published an article exposing the operation and its part in the death of Hawkins High School sophomore Barbara Holland. The laboratory's multi-story compound still stands, a grim reminder of the disturbing events that happened there, most of which remain undisclosed, except for the few who witnessed them firsthand. Its dark energy tainted by the Upside Down, and the cruel experiments thrust upon its patients by Dr. Brenner made it an easy realm to add into the entity's collection. Nancy Wheeler, the aspiring journalist. Studious and rebellious, Nancy Wheeler is a stubborn investigator with an instinct for a good story. Originally falling into the stereotypical small-town girl who falls in love with the rich boy in town, Nancy's world changed when her closest friend, Barb, went missing. With the help of her friends, she did everything she could to unravel the truth and secure justice, going so far as to travel into the Upside Down on her own, even if it may have been unintentional. With the help of Steve Harrington and Jonathan Byers, the three forced the Demogorgon attacking their town to retreat, nearly killing it themselves. After learning the truth behind Hawkins' lab, the Demogorgon, and the Upside Down, Nancy became upset at the idea that the scientists who caused these horrors would end up leaving unpunished for their crimes. A brilliant journalist, she chases stories and follows leads to force these crimes into the spotlight, despite the inequality and chauvinism she encounters at the workplace. Pursuing a lead one evening, she fearlessly approached Hawkins National Laboratory before she lost consciousness without a warning. A moment later, she awoke in a strange, misty realm with a familiar roar echoing through the air. Nancy's first perk is better together. Nancy knows that the best way to uncover the truth and make progress is with good allies by your side. With better together, the aura of generators that Nancy is repairing will be revealed to other players within a 32-meter range of her. If a killer downs a player while she is working on a generator, the aura of all survivors are revealed for a short duration. Nancy's second perk is Fixated. When Nancy has a goal in mind, there is no turning back and nothing that will get in her way. After all, it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. With fixated, Nancy's base walk speed will be faster than normal when she's uninjured. And if she begins running, she'll be able to see any scratch marks that she leaves behind, allowing her more information when it comes to evading her pursuers. Nancy's third perk is Inner Strength. Nancy can rely on her own inner strength when she feels isolated and alone. With Inner Strength, whenever she cleanses a totem, the Inner Strength perk becomes active. While it is active, hiding inside a locker for a short duration will automatically heal her of any injury she has. If she is suffering from the broken status, Inner Strength will not activate until the broken status is removed. After she has healed herself, Inner Strength will become deactivated again, and will only activate once she has cleansed another totem. It is doubtful that Nancy ever thought that her investigation would have led her to a place like this. But luckily, or unluckily, depending on your point of view, she's not going to be in this new realm without a familiar face at her side. Steve Harrington, Mr. Mom, the former jock. Popular and arrogant, yet compassionate, Steve Harrington is an unlikely mentor and leader. To most, he appeared to be a preppy, rich jerk, often thinking solely about himself. However, as time has passed, he has grown as a person and recognized some of his strengths and weaknesses. While he and his former girlfriend Nancy Wheeler aren't together, they still remain cordial and are willing to help each other when the time comes. Despite his bouts of immaturity, Steve often acts as a surrogate big brother to a young Dustin, a boy who is ripe for being picked on. He has even gone so far as to help him find his slimy interdimensional pet Demogorgon, D'Artagnan. His reputation as a protector grew, and he soon became sort of a babysitter for the group of kids in Hawkins, who often have a knack for messing around with strange and dangerous things. While terrified, his courage has grown, allowing him to reject his horrible friends and assist in the fight against the interdimensional Demogorgon when it threatened Nancy and Jonathan. One evening, in the dead of night, he could swear he could hear a call for assistance from his friend Nancy Wheeler. Believing that she had somehow gotten stuck in the Upside Down, he drove all the way to Hawkins National Laboratory to see if she was okay. He searched the area, but only found her notebook. Before he was able to investigate further, the ground opened up and a swirl of black mist filled his eyes. When he awoke, he was in a strange place that seemed both familiar but unfamiliar at the same time. Steve's first perk is Babysitter. While Steve still has trouble shaking off his self-centered attitude, he is always willing to risk everything to help others in need. Whenever Steve unhooks a survivor, the survivor will leave no scratch marks or blood trails for a short duration. Steve, on the other hand, will be able to see the killer's location and will have his own aura revealed to the killer for 4 seconds. Steve's second perk is Camaraderie. Life has taught Steve of the importance of having friends at your side. When Steve is on the hook and is struggling against the entity, if another survivor is within a certain distance of Steve's location, the struggle timer will pause for up to 34 seconds, allowing Steve more time before a possible grisly demise. Steve Harrington's final perk is Second Wind. Steve has found that sometimes ignoring problems can lead to them fixing themselves. Side note, I would not advise this in real life. After Steve has healed someone for the equivalent of a full health state on his own, the next time he is put on the hook and then removed, he will be placed into the broken status. After a short time, Second Wind will kick in, automatically healing Steve from the injured status to the healthy status. After he has been healed, or if he is put into the dying state before Second Wind completes, he will lose the effect of Second Wind. Both Steve and Nancy are now pawns in the entity's game. While these two young survivors may have themselves and their new friends to rely on, they unfortunately also have an old nemesis that they're not going to be quite so happy to see. The Demogorgon. Unlike the other killers in the procedural, the Demogorgon is not a title. but a species. This one that has been plucked from the depths of the Upside Down is just one of many of its kind. Its blooming mouth filled with needle-like teeth for a face, large, curved, razor-sharp claws, and powerful legs to pounce on its victims make the Demogorgon a frightening monster to face in any dimension. This one in particular is a nightmare of unrestrained feral rage as it hunts down its prey and rips it to pieces, devouring every last morsel of flesh and leaving nothing for scavengers. When it comes down to it though, the Demogorgon as a species is like many others, with each one having something that resembles their own unique personality. The original Demogorgon encountered in Hawkins, Indiana in 1983 was very much a predator, hunting down prey that were injured and solitary. It was opportunistic and volatile, but not mindless, as shown when it kidnapped both Will Byers and Barbara Holland. This Demogorgon stood no chance against a creature far more powerful than itself, however, and was obliterated by the psychokinetic powers of the young 11. In stark contrast, another Demogorgon, raised by young Dustin Denderson, being almost friendly and not attempting to kill the kids unlike the others of its species. Though it was bound to the same fate as its brethren, it was proof that though the Demogorgons were indeed beasts, they were not mindless. This creature stolen from the Mind Flayer by the entity, however, is untouched by any sense of compassion or restraint. Looming over its victims, it shows no doubt or mercy, just the pure instinct of its insatiable bloodlust. A perfect hunter, the Demogorgon is a macabre testament to the horrors lurking in the Upside Down, and why it was choice pickings for the entity. The Demogorgon's special ability is Of the Abyss. With Of the Abyss, the Demogorgon has the ability to put portals on the ground. When they are placed, they'll be considered inactive and have a white aura. After 2 portals have been placed, the Demogorgon can stand on one and travel through to another. Afterwards, the portals will become active, allowing players to see them and giving them a yellow aura. If a player comes across an active portal, they will be able to destroy it, preventing the Demogorgon from using it in the future. This can't be done without danger, however, as while a survivor is destroying a portal, they will be affected by the aura of the Upside Down, leaving them with the oblivious status effect, preventing them from hearing the Demogorgon's terror radius. Along with these portals, the Demogorgon has the ability Shred. Shred allows the Demogorgon to charge up and pounce in a general direction, damaging a survivor if they hit them. They can also break a pallet if they run into one that is knocked down. If the Demogorgon hits a solid object instead of a survivor, it will be briefly stunned. The Demogorgon's first perk is Surge. The Demogorgon's presence charges the air with energy from the Upside Down, interfering with electrical equipment. If a survivor is put into the dying state, all generators within a 32-meter radius around the fallen survivor will explode and begin regressing at a faster rate than normal. After the perk has been utilized, it will go on cooldown for a short duration. The Demogorgon's second perk is Mindbreaker. The presence of this monster can cause their prey to become distressed easily. While repairing a generator that is under 50% completion, survivors are afflicted by the exhausted status. If the survivor is already exhausted, then their exhaustion timer will pause while working on the generator. This effect will wear off shortly after letting go of the generator, or if the generator surpasses its 50% completion threshold. The Demogorgon's final perk is Cruel Limits. The Demogorgon's ties to the Upside Down can allow it to manifest the entity's powers in some unexpected ways. Each time a generator is repaired, all windows and vault locations within a 24-meter radius will be blocked for all survivors for 30 seconds. These blocked locations will be highlighted for the Demogorgon by a yellow aura. The Demogorgon is a creature very unlike any other killer in the entity's collection, as there is nothing human about it. This savage creature has grown in a realm without light or warmth, and will undoubtedly show the survivors just how strange things can become. And And with that, thank you for watching this episode of Loredive. I know this one's a little bit different, as I mentioned before. After the next group of survivors and killers, I'll probably continue this series in this format. Otherwise, I'll have to wait years to create new videos for the series. While I am going to continue doing this series with other franchises, this is my baby and it's where I started, so I definitely want to continue with it. If you like this video of Loredive, please like and subscribe down below, and if there's any video game lore that you would like to see us go into, let me know. I'm completely open to suggestions. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.